Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Casey for L with the Casey for L Wrestling Takes here to give you my AEW Dynamite review. Usually AEW is on Wednesday nights, but due to the NBA playoffs, they had to be pushed to Saturday. And they came on about the same time as TakeOver did. So what I did was I watched the first hour of AEW Dynamite, then I watched TakeOvers. And then I came back later on to finish up the rest of the show. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dynamite was 100,000% better than TakeOver. That's just me. You know, maybe some people thought TakeOver was better than Dynamite, but I'm just telling you, AEW Dynamite was a whole lot better than TakeOver 30. So let's go ahead and break down exactly what happened. So we opened up the show, Private Party versus FTR. Cash Wilder and Dax Horwood versus Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. I really wanted Isaiah and them to win because I am huge on Private Party. I didn't know who these cats was. They got me the moment they went against the Young Bucks on the first episode, and I have been rolling with them ever since. But AEW continues to push them into the dumpster because they got over, and AEW don't like that, and we already know why. I listen. I be trying to tell y'all all the time. It doesn't matter what promotion. When we on the show for some weird reason, they got a problem with it. Anyway, let's go ahead and dissect this match. This match was excellent. It was a great opener. Like I said, I would prefer Isaiah and them to go over, but Cash Waller and them won because now their new associate, the manager of Sean Spears, Mr. Tully Blanchard, was ringside, and he pretty much helped them get the victory. And they beat Marquand and Isaiah Cassidy. They got the one up on them. Now, I was thinking that the Young Bucks was going to come out and interfere because of what happened the previous week with the tag team appreciation, with them doing the bogus stuff to Rock and Roll Express. So, but anyway, like I said, the match is good. Like I said, I wanted Isaiah and them to win. I'm serious. I really enjoy Private Party, man. But you know, like I said, I see how they do with Private Party anyway. So let's move on. Next, we got another multi-man tag team. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm telling you, I'm not a fan of these. I'm serious. Listen, I know AEW is heavy on the tag team stuff, but I don't have a problem with that. But when you start putting everybody and their mama in the tag team matches and it's just too many clowns in one match, I'm like, I can't get into it. I want to get into it, but I can't. This match, it was okay. I mean, now the storyline that took place was very interesting towards the end of the match. That's what I'm gonna get ready to talk about. Jurassic Express and the Natural Nightmares. That's Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall versus Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros. Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix. Match, like I said, was a subpar match. Like I said, it's you got all these tag teams are good, every one of them. But once you got everybody and the mama in the match trying to do a little something, it's just everybody doing all these. It's like you can't really, you want to focus, but you can't because it's just too much junk going on. Now, uh, the Jurassic Express of them won because Butcher and Pentagon Jr. was starting to get into it. They started pushing each other. They're like, yo, what's going on? And because they was pushing each other, it was distraction. And Jurassic Express and them took advantage of it, and they got the victory. But then, after that, they started pushing each other. Then Butch and Ray started pushing each other, and it's turned into, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Who comes out? My man Eddie Kingston. Dude cut a great promo and pretty much said, listen, what the heck is y'all doing? All you guys have been dominating in the tag team division no matter where you go. You guys should not be fighting each other. You guys, he said, when you guys are divided, you lose. When you guys are together, you win. So I'm assuming this is a new faction. AEW has a gazillion factions going on, y'all. I'm not playing with you. Got this faction, that faction. It's like, man, AEW got way too many. Listen, I don't have a problem with the factions. But AEW seems to be getting too many factions right now. I mean, I'm like, my goodness, we got the Inner Circle, we got Dark Order, we got the Elite. Damn. Yeah, I mean, now we're finna have the revival of the Four Horsemen. Now Eddie Kingston pretty much got them together and they all hugged each other. He winked at the camera. So I'm assuming that he is the manager of all four of them now. So now they're a faction or whatever. So it's like, man, I mean, we got all these different factions and everything. So anyway, moving on. we got a promo. Let's see. I'll make sure I talk about the promo because we had two back-to-back promos. So we had Moxie cut a promo talking about MJF and his whole political stuff, and he said he's not too big on all that political stuff. He said you can do all that stuff, but he said I accept your challenge, and with you doing whatever you want, I'm gonna pretty much beat the brakes off of you all out. Well, MJF responds right back to him, and he's sitting over there whimpering, looking like a beaten man, got the neck brace on, looking like he got a walker. I mean, just playing this game, playing like he's an old beat man. And he going responding back to MJF. John Moxley. And while Moxley says what he says, his lawyer comes out the woodwork and practically says that at All Out, John Moxley cannot do his finisher. The finisher that he does, I forgot the name of the finisher, but he cannot do it. It's been banned. So how in the world is he going to beat MJF without his finish? That tells me right there, and I had MJF winning the whole time. Now I think MJF is losing now. I think he is now because I had him winning the whole time because the odds are definitely stacked against Moxley. He can't do his finish. And it's not called Dirty D's no more. It's like a DDT. I forgot what it's called. But that move has been banned. It has been banned. So, all right. So let's see. Let's keep scrolling. Because like I said, I'm on a page. I'm on what side am I at? Oh, I'm at Bleacher Report, y'all. So like I said, that's where I'm getting everything right now. Because I had notes, but for some reason, the notes got taken down. So then after that, Chris Jericho comes out, and Orange Cassidy and them is out there, and he pretty much said he congratulates them for beating them and all that stuff. And Jericho pretty much said, well, since we each got one up on each other, we need to do the final chapter. And the final chapter, you know, I'm always good at creating matches and stuff. This fool comes up with a Momoso Mayhem match. That's what it's called, a Momoso Mayhem match. Now this match is pretty much you you win by pinfall, submission, or throwing your opponent in the big old pool of a little bit of the bubbly and orange juice. I say, you know what, they come up with some of the most goofiest stuff on the planet, but that's the match. A Momoso Mayhem match. That's going to take place at All Out. So be prepared because that's what we get. So then, next we get the Elite versus the Dark Order. So Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And you remember Hangman Page is in the back hanging out somewhere because he really don't know what's going on. Excuse me, y'all. I'm just taking a little swig. He was trying to hang out with his best friends, FTR. So we get this match. The Elite got the one up on the Dark Order this time around. Like I said, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, I love AEW, but listen, they just have way too many tag team matches with me, y'all. I mean, and I wish they would spread out the tag team matches. You don't have to have back to back to back to back to back. It's like, man, shout out to my man, Mr. Melvin, because Melvin, I told him I was gonna give him a shout out, bro. I told you I was gonna shout you out, Melvin. Melvin had said something key. I gotta go check out what he had told me because he said something about it. I gotta look it up right quick. So give me a couple of seconds, y'all. Give me 1 second, because I agree with him 100% on what he said. He said, this is what he said, and for people who ain't following him, go follow him. His at is at Info Money, Melvin Jackson. Good dude, I'm telling you. Excellent when it comes to the wrestling booking. Like I said, I think he rapped too. Like I said, check his music out. Pretty good. Okay, so another issue I see is AEW should not be overbooking those shows sometimes. Less is more. I agree 100% with him because it's just way too, like they have way too many tag team matches. It's like, I get it. Your main focus is tag team. We know that tag team is serious business when it comes to AEW, and that's good because a lot of fans, they love tag team wrestling, and AEW take tag team wrestling to the key. That's their bread and butter. It's the tag team wrestling. But I'm like this. You don't have to have 50 tag team matches and one singles match on the show. You can spread that mess out. If you're going to have 3 tag team matches, at least mix it up with 3 singles matches. You don't have to have them going back to back to back to back to back. You understand? You ain't got to do all that. So, after the match, um, Kenny Omega was just going completely insane again. He was about to try to injure one of the members of Dark Order. He was about to actually try to break that man's neck. He actually pulled the chair out and was going to put his head in there. He was going to literally snap his neck. And the brothers, they had to try to get him to calm down. Because he was going mad. And that's just to let you know Kenny Omega is getting ready to turn heel. It's going to happen. We just don't know when it's going to happen. But he's about to turn heel. And it's about to take place. So next, we get Darby Allin versus Will Hobbs. Now, once again, y'all, listen, I'm keeping AEW on their helmets. I told y'all I'm enjoying AEW, but they are really starting to act just like Vince and them. I'm telling you, they said they wasn't like the other corporations, but yes, you are. My dude, Will Hobbs, all he does is lose on Dynamite on Dark. And this is his debut on Dynamite, and this is what happened. He loses again. I'm like, man, like, why do y'all keep putting the dudes that look like me on these shows just to take L's all the time? I'm like, come on, man. It's like, and we see this stuff. We see it all the time. We see this mess all the time. It's like, man, I know Darby needs to get a win, but you can at least put Will Hobbs up against somebody else, you know what I mean? But Darby gets the victory. I mean, you already knew he had to because of what happened the previous week by losing it Moxie. So, you know, it is what it is. And Taz is talking all kind of mad stuff. Taz is out there talking. Taz talking like, yeah, what you gonna do? Talk about Darby. I got the real Darby. Well, it just so happened to be my man Ricky Starks dressed up like him. He comes out and pretty much him and then Cage come out and then they both jump him and leave him laying there looking real silly. So now we got Darby just sitting there like, you know, laid out. They ain't got nothing else better to do. So next we get to the, once again, tag team match. Once again, this time with the females. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have not been paying attention to the YouTube women's thing. I seen like the first 20 minutes of it, but I really wasn't paying attention. So I already knew they was gonna have Brandy and Allie in the finals going against Diamante and Ivelisse. And thank God that Diamante and Ivelisse won. I thank God for that because then nobody want to see Brandy in them. Nobody. I love like Brandy's one beautiful woman, but I don't believe Brandy belongs in the ring. That's just my personal opinion. Like I say, look, I keep it fair. I know I've been complaining about us not being on the show, but if it's somebody who look like me that should be wrestling, that's my girl Brandy. I'm like I said, I ain't got nothing against her. I respect her and everything, but I feel like her being in the ring is just not my cup of tea. So there you have it. I know some people always say, man, you always talking about the look. I'm being consistent. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, there it is. So they win the tournament. So I don't know what that means, but they win the tournament. So I guess they're going to be the new women's tag team champions when they bring the belt on. And then finally we get to the main event. Now, this right here was the best scene of the whole show. This right here, I'm telling you, man, people was taking a dump on the Dark Order when they first showed up. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't care nothing about the Dark Order. I thought they was the clown gimmick. I thought it was, you know, like who the clown? Like what's this Illuminati? I mean, obviously, like I say, they're Illuminati. We know that. I'm like, man, what's this lame Illuminati group? I'm like, who they supposed to be, man? Like, y'all sit y'all Illuminati behind us on down somewhere. Then they introduced Brodie Lee as the exalted one. And I said, okay. I said, I'm watching. And a lot of people was comparing his promos, saying that he was making fun of Vince and taking shots at Vince and all this nonsense. And I'm like, you know what, man, listen. When you don't get booked right in a former company that he used to be a part of, you got every right to take shots at the man all you want. And I didn't have a problem with him doing what he had to do. But on Saturday night, my man destroyed Cody. He took the man's head off. Cody didn't last not even 5 minutes. That match was done. He beat the brakes off of him. Then Cody get put on the stretcher. And he says, look, I'm not going to let you get out of here because you know they do the famous when you're on the stretcher, put the thumbs up to say you're okay. Man, Brodie Lee said, screw that bull crap. I'm about to whip this fool tail even more. Went on there, toes behind him some more, and just left him there. Even Arn tried to get involved. Arn Anderson, his old behind. I'm like, man, sit your old tail down somewhere. He gets jumped by the Dark Order. So they get jumped. Then here come QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. They get jumped. And so it's like everybody in the whole family is messed up. Then Brandy comes out. She tries to protect her husband. She lays on top of him. And you got all these dudes standing around. And then the next thing you know, you see Anna Jay standing there. And Brodie Lee say, take care of the business. She go up there and basically chokes her out. I was like, God damn, man. What a way to go off. That was the best segment of the whole show. I loved it. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Brodie Lee and the Dark Order is letting you know that they are a series. They about that biz. They serious biz. They ain't no joke. I know people thought they was a joke. They are not a joke. That's what you call making them look legitimized. You legitimize them. And I love it. Tony Khan was doing a great job with them, man, and I appreciate it. So Mr. Brodie Lee is your new TNT champion. There you have it, folks. That is my AEW review for Saturday. I will be back for Thursday because it comes on Thursday. So I will do my best to try to, if I don't get to you Thursday, expect it by Friday. This your boy Casey for I'm signing out. I'll at me.